everyone, I'm Lee Brown.
And I'm Vicki Corliss.
And we're Brown Corliss Books. So I have a question for you today.
Okay.
So I remember a few years ago reading an article, and I can't remember the title exactly, but it was something to the effect of "Nobody Wants Your Big Brown Furniture." And it was an article about how we have, particularly our generation, has inherited furniture or other items from households that now can go back a few generations. And so the question becomes, and I will start by saying, the future generations don't want that kind of stuff. No. They're a very fast-living, disposable kind of generation. They like things light, bright, and quick to put together. So at what point do you keep things from the past, from maybe your parents or your grandparents, because there's a sense of family history, maybe you're preserving stories or pieces of your heritage, and at what point is it just stuff that belonged to them and there really is no meaning behind it? And how do you decide when to actually let go without feeling any guilt and knowing that it may or may not be meaningful to the next generation or two?
And how? I think for me, every time, so when we went through my mom's house after she passed and we were going through her things, it was hard to get her voice out of my head as to whether I should keep something or not. My mother was a great cook. I've told you that story before. And she had a subscription, to Bon Appetit and Gourmet magazines. Mm-hmm. Her Gourmet magazines, she actually received binders so that she would put a year's worth of magazines into one binder. And so they were labeled by the year and so forth. She hadn't touched them in God knows how long. There were so many magazines. There was no way we were going to go through every one to maybe find one recipe here or there that we wanted to keep. And everything's online now anyway.
Right.
I know I was reaching for them, ready to toss them, and there's my mom's voice in my head saying, my magazines. But I had to tell myself, she hadn't touched the magazines in years. So why should I, especially when it's all consolidated online now, I can easily Google back to 1977 if I really want to look at recipes from the 70s. But it's hard when you hear somebody's voice in your head.
It is, because it was a part of who your mom was.
Exactly.
And that was something she enjoyed. And I'm sure when she received those magazines originally, she really enjoyed looking through them and pulling out recipes. And really, that's your memory.
She used them. She absolutely used them. And you're right. It was my memory of my mom using them. I had to give myself permission to say, I'm not using them. My mother's no longer going to use them, so they can go. I had to give myself permission to let them go.
And sometimes I think time helps. I think we've all gone through that, where you're going through your parents' or grandparents' belongings and trying to make those decisions. And when it's soon, it's really hard to let anything go.
Yeah.
I think the benefit of time is you can be a little more objective about, do I need to preserve this because it says something about my heritage? Or am I just keeping it because my mom or dad loved it? Yeah. And it's a big difference, because I know I'm going to have my own stuff. And so, my poor kids are going to be burdened with all of that. You have to make choices, and knowing that they'll be making choices as well. So, how about you? Do you struggle with trying to decide what to keep and what to let go of? It should be kept because it comes from a place of love, not of guilt. That's what I think.
I think that is very well said.
So, let us know in the comments below. In the meantime, see you soon.
Bye.